So hi everyone, my name is Thomas. I work for the German development agency, GIZ. We are basically the German government body that's helping other countries in sustainable development. Gesellschaft für internationale Zusammenarbeit for the Germans among you. I have been in Thailand since 4 years, implementing projects in the energy sector there. So lately we have been looking into renewable energy hybrid systems on islands. And for me personally, why am I here? I came across the Solar Coin project probably a year ago and started to read up a lot and got very excited about this, and then started to read up a bit more on blockchain and the energy sector in general. So through this, I started to talk to Francois, to Setnam, and a few people here in the room on solutions on how blockchain can actually, in the field of rural development, rural electrification, could have an impact or not. But since that is a very, let's say, nebulous or cloudy topic at times, our approach is very practical. So we have, in Thailand, we have 99% of electrified houses. Actually, basically everybody has electricity, but 1% in Thailand. So in this project, we are really trying to...
Just click.
Yes.
Okay, Thomas, one thing, the micro is active. If you remain close to it, we're going to...
Can you hear me in the back?
So,
okay, I'll speak loud. So 1% has no electricity. And the 1% is really, electricity prices in Thailand are pretty competitive. They're like 10 euro cents. But the 1% which has not access to this, these are usually people on islands or in national parks. They pay 50, 60, 70, up to 80 cents per kilowatt hour. So it's pretty unfair, and this is why we're engaging ourselves, involving ourselves to try to bring solutions to these people. Usually we have identified this, our working thesis is that the pre-project development in these situations is what is actually the main barrier. Nobody is going out there and actually doing feasibility analysis for these islands because it's cumbersome. You have to go to island communities, you have to tell them about renewable energy, they don't believe you have to go back, talk to them, go back, talk to them, and then eventually they let you in and they listen to you, and then you have to analyze the islands and you come up with a feasibility study. For a private sector company, this is very, very difficult. So we said, well, that could be our spot as a government organization to do the pre-development of projects, basically qualify projects and then hand them over to project developers. And then, however, hope that we can have systems which we install on a more or less competitive basis where we do not necessarily need a lot of grants or subsidies in these projects. So I don't know if you can actually read this. It's just our timeline for the project. I wanted to give you an overview of this. So we selected suitable islands and we did the site assessments over there together with an engineering firm. We're at the moment designing hybrid grid systems for these islands, or we asked the engineers to design them so that we have reference documents. And these documents, when we have them, we want to make them available to the public and then ask for requests for proposals. So we might be designing a centralized mini-grid system, but maybe a swarm electrification approach like the colleagues from Solarly are doing it, or what the Electroseed concept is about, could also be an option. We're open for this. So yeah, the principles for our project is while we, GIZ and the Rockefeller Foundation, are providing the budgets for the pre-development, we are not subsidizing the investment. So that is the setup for this project. And it needs to be it must not be a drop and forget projects. Those of you who are working in this industry, there's too many projects out there where somebody puts in a lot of money, installs a system, be it a mini grid or a solar home system. They work for 2 years and then nobody knows on how to maintain it. So we will have very smart contracts, not in a digital way, but in a way where we will make sure that there is long-term operation and maintenance, ensuring the safe operation of the systems. So just to give you a few impressions of what these islands look like. We have, this is one island, it's Bulondon. It's in the south of Thailand in the Andaman Sea. You can see here, it's a very small island. This is not even a kilometer long. It has 80 to 90 households, and we went there and mapped them all on a GPS to see where they are. There's some restaurants. The orange dots are diesel gensets. Yeah, you see a lot of things on these site visits. This is definitely one of my favorites. The solar system underneath the trees. So everybody who's in the solar business knows that that could be kind of problematic. But what you also see is there was actually installation. There was a grid installation before on this island. The diesel generator actually broke. So now they have this fine grid there, but nobody is using it anymore. And yeah, very pristine scenery as well. So Boulogne Don is 20 kilometers far from shore. That's relevant for many of the project developers. You can see here a few information. The population is approximately 300 people. It's 80 households. So we have mapped all these out. You can see the system, which is relevant for the designers then for the sizes of the system. What is interesting is that the income range on the island is between 4,500 to 45,000 baht per month. This is roughly maybe 150 euros to 1,500 euros. Usually it's an average of 200 per month. This is because most of the people there are fishermen, and they can only fish in the non-rainy season, because in the rainy season there are storms and they can't go out with their boats, otherwise the boats sink and the people die. So the previous situation was that there was the grid, as I said. Now current situation is that there is about 15 or 20 small diesel gensets, 8